What's going on, guys? My name is MrHurriicane. Welcome to the Minnesota Dynasty. It's week 10 against the undefeated, number 2 ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers. After 2 consecutive victories and getting on a bit of a roll, we face our toughest test so far this season against a team that has dominated the opposition every week this season. They have not played a one-score game. They are blowing out teams. They play great offense, great defense, and we are going to have to play maybe our best game to keep this one close and try to get a victory to make it 3 wins in a row. One more victory for the Gophers makes us bowl eligible. We are now 5-3 and look for the upset today over Nebraska. Minnesota will receive the opening kickoff as Nebraska lines up and we're underway. Minnesota trying to spoil an undefeated season. David Clark from his own 2 on the far side. Up past the 20 to the 30 and wrapped up shy of the 35. That's where Minnesota will begin. Last week in the first quarter, Minnesota got out to a 21-0 lead. We'll have to have our offense on display again today as Minnesota gets started with a slant over the middle to Drew Wolatorski for a gain of 12. But this is the number 1 scoring defense. They keep their opponents to under 15 points a game. Now on the ground is Martindale to the left, and he will lose 3. No blocks on the counter. So Minnesota at 3rd down and 5. 3 wide for Leidner from the shotgun. Firing deep down the middle, and it gets intercepted by Campbell. Minnesota turns it over on the first possession. Nebraska will take over, and their number 3 scoring offense takes the field. They run for over 270 yards a game, so you know where our focus is going to be. First play, a handoff to Terrell Newby, and that's a good start as Ray Dixon finds him in the backfield. He loses 2. But the threat on this offense is quarterback Tommy Armstrong, who sets up a screen to Newby, gets a big block out in front, and picks up the first down into Minnesota territory on the outside of field goal range, 21 yards. Gophers with a single high safety as Armstrong back to pass, firing outside. He's got Coles inside the 10, breaks a tackle and into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska. That fast. This is a potent offense. They can strike from anywhere with their pass or run game. It's not going to be easy for our offense to keep up with that style of offense. Leidner will try on the second drive as he fires outside. There's Duckett, but nowhere to go after he makes the reception. He gains 3. That means Minnesota looking for their first down on 3rd down and 6. Nebraska bringing the blitz. Leidner slides right, breaks out of a sack, fires left, and Duckett makes the catch but steps out of bounds. A very ugly play for Minnesota that brings this drive to an end. Not the start we were looking for from our offense as Nebraska takes over. After a quick touchdown possession, there's Coles again with the reception, who will make it a 3rd down and 1 for Nebraska. They have a lot of options for this situation. From the shotgun, option right. Armstrong will keep it, and he gains the first down. He's a dynamic passer, but an even dangerous runner. New set of downs with Newby in motion to the option again as Armstrong takes the contact and pitches back to Newby, who will pick up another Cornhusker first down, gaining 16 yards. We really struggle against these great quarterbacks and option offenses. Armstrong again fakes, he runs up the middle and has a lane to the end zone opened up for another Nebraska touchdown. It's 14-0, and quickly in the first quarter, it's put up or shut up time for Minnesota. If you want to compete with the best teams, you have to put a better product on the field than this. Minnesota's 3rd drive begins as Martindale tries to change direction and still only gains 1 yard. Running against this team is not going to be easy. Our pass game has to do well. 2nd and 9, Leidner out of the pocket, goes short to Martindale. He's up close to the marker. That'll make it a 3rd down and 1. Minnesota still looking for our first down. In the I formation, under center, as Hartman gets the inside carry, and he will gain 4 yards and a Minnesota first down. Maybe that will help us get over the hump. Leidner now short to Harbison on the smoke, and he will gain 4. We've really got to make the most of these downs if we're going to get 2, 3, 4 yards of play. 3rd and 7, Leidner back to pass, middle, and the tight end is there. Adam Kirkpatrick with the 10-yard reception. Now 2 first downs for Minnesota. Nearing the end of the first quarter, it's a toss out to Martindale. Some room to the edge as Martindale to the first down marker, and they give it to him on the gain of 6. Now nearing Nebraska territory for the first time as Hartman gets it again inside, and he gets leveled in the hole. I have not seen Tyler Hartman take a hit like that. That is what we're up against today, guys. The number 1 overall defense. Second down for Minnesota. Handoff to Berkeley Edwards. The blocks are set up, and Edwards breaks free inside the 20 of Nebraska, and he gains 35 yards into the red zone. Minnesota finally gets a big play, and they're in striking distance. Leidner puts it up, and touchdown! Minnesota scores their first touchdown today. Nice drive. Once we got going, we found our rhythm. 2 big plays, and Drew Olatarski caps it off. 14-7, Nebraska leads. Our defense has yet to make a stop against this offense, as once again the option to the right, and there's Terrell Newby taking the pitch from Armstrong, gaining 17 yards. And what I'm noticing is a lot of the guys in the secondary are not getting off their blocks. Now a handoff to Newby as he'll try to work this outside. Dan Smith there to wrap him up, but it looks like his forward progress will get him to the first down marker. Once again, a single high safety for Minnesota as Armstrong will give inside. This is Adam Taylor, and he breaks up the middle inside the 20, and finally caught by Ray Dixon, but Adam Taylor puts Nebraska back in the red zone. That's a 42-yard carry. Out of the eye option, and Armstrong will keep it into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns with minimal difficulty. This offense is much more dynamic than we've seen in the past, and we beat them last year when they were in the top 10. We'll try to answer back as the screen is out to Martindale, gets some help from a block out in front, and jukes up ahead and gains 12. Nice little play by Martindale. He might be a bigger threat today in the pass game as the counter now goes to Edwards, and the play is broken up in the backfield. The pulling guard didn't get to his defensive lineman responsibility in time, so Minnesota forced on 3rd and 8 to go to the air as Leidner over the middle. Eric Carter makes the catch, but 4th and 1 for Minnesota. With the way the game has gone, we've got to go for it. Leidner, quarterback sneak in, he got the first down. Only gets 2, but it's enough. Under 5 minutes of play in the first half. Diamond package is in, and the handoff is going to Martindale, trying to sweep this outside, but look at all the Nebraska defenders just swarm to the football. This defense is so fast sideline to sideline. 3rd and 7, Nebraska blitzes. Leidner deep and almost intercepted by Brian Carter. Once again, they force Minnesota into a bad deep pass, and now we'll bring out the punting unit on 4th down. We'll try to make this as difficult as possible for Nebraska as Morris boots it away. Patrick is there as it bounces inside the 10, and Patrick downs it at the 4-yard line. Now can our defense get a stop? Armstrong with the fake, and the triple option pitch will go out to Adam Taylor, who has room across the 20, and he takes it across the 30 as Nebraska just continues to run wherever they feel like it. 1st and 10, Armstrong. This time they'll go right, but Armstrong gets wrapped up and he loses 2. Nice play by Dan Smith. Can we get some good plays in succession though, as Adam Taylor will try the right side again. Blocks are picked up, runs over gains, and he's close to the marker. So 3rd and inches for Nebraska, which they pretty much always run in these situations. They'll do it again. Adam Taylor with plenty of room to gain the first down, but Minnesota has yet to put a dent in this running game. 2nd down and 8, Armstrong from the shotgun. He'll give inside. This is Terrell Newby, and he's met right at the 50-yard line, so Minnesota has put themselves maybe their best situation so far. 3rd and 7, Nebraska spreads the field, and Armstrong back to pass. He fires outside of the sideline, and it is incomplete. Armstrong's pass hits the grass, and Nebraska punts for the first time today. Minnesota down by 14, trying to make this a 1-score game before the half, but Doug Duckett cannot make the reception over the middle. He had a big 11-catch game last week with no drops. 3rd down and 4. The blitz again. Leidner, he's going to outrun the defensive lineman, and he does get the first down. I wasn't sure if he could do it, but he did. 1st down, Minnesota. 90 seconds to play in the half as Leidner stays in the pocket and finds Jamel Harbison, who makes a tough grab for a 13-yard gain. 4 wide again for Minnesota. Nebraska brings 4. Leidner wants to escape the pocket, but gets taken down by the shoelaces and gets sacked for a loss of 4. Now Minnesota's got to get something big through the air. 14 yards to go on 3rd down. Leidner going deep, puts it up, caught, first down. Jamel Harbison with the 360 reception. beautiful play leaping in front of the defender. Jamel Harbison keeping the drive alive. Second down, less than 30 seconds as Leidner. He stays in the pocket, now finds a man open. It's Doug Duckett inside the 10 and pulled down at the 6-yard line. Minnesota with time to score a touchdown. 19 seconds, handoff to Martindale, shakes off one, and he only gains a yard. Third down and goal for Minnesota, trying to make this a one-score game. Leidner back to pass, throws right to the end zone, and touchdown! Adam Kirkpatrick from 5 yards out, and Minnesota drives down the field to make this a 21-14 game. Minnesota keeping it close with the number 2 team in the nation will try to threaten their undefeated streak in the second half. Minnesota is down by 1 score at the beginning of the third quarter. We've only stopped Nebraska's offense once. They begin the third quarter with the football as Armstrong takes off and gains 8, but our defense has to get stops and probably turnovers to pull off this upset. Armstrong on third down and 5. It's a screen to Newby, and he gets the first down, gaining 8. Good blocks, and normally our defense is pretty good against the screen. Unsuccessful that attempt as Newby gets the carry and weaves through the middle of the field, making it look easy as he gains 15 yards again. They've had big running plays to the left, right, and middle of the defense. Armstrong now will go left and has plenty of room to run. More blocks in the secondary. You can see Eric Parker get blocked out of the way completely. Minnesota has not forced Nebraska to kick a field goal today. They could on this play. 3rd and 8, screen again. This time it's Smart making the catch, and he pushes a defender out of the way and gets the first down. He just stiff-armed Jack Lind. Oh my goodness. On second down, Armstrong fakes the give and keeps it himself. He'll run into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska. This run game is extremely impressive, and it's very hard to stop. Nebraska retakes a 2-score lead. Our offense will do their best to keep pace. Our ground game hasn't done much yet as Martindale gets the toss left and takes a big hit after gaining 7. 3rd down and 3, Duckett in the slot, Kirkpatrick as well as Duckett makes the grab on the outside, and that's enough for Minnesota to move the chains. We're seeing a lot more of the short passing game today due to the pressure and the skill of the secondary, really. Leidner on 2nd and 12, wants to escape, and he can't. Leidner gets sacked, losing 3, 3rd and 15 for Minnesota. Jamel Harbison sent in motion, Leidner back to pass facing the blitz. Takes the hit, throws it up, and caught for a first down by Jamel Harbison. He has made a lot of big plays today on 3rd down, all difficult grabs, a lot of credit to him. Again, Nebraska blitzes. They want to attack the quarterback as it's out quick to Martindale from the backfield, and he gains 9, another Minnesota first down. Trying to make this again a 1-score game. Leidner on first down, screen to Harbison, makes the catch up to the 30, makes a move, and he gains 10. That's close to a first down. Berkeley Edwards checks into the game at tailback as Leidner from the gun gives to Edwards, and he has nowhere to go. A big hit in the hole met by Newby. The ground game has been neutralized. 3rd and short, Leidner's going to the air. 4-man rush as Leidner tries to run. Ball came out. And it looks like Nebraska recovered the fumble. The Cornhuskers have the first turnover of the second half, their 2nd on the day, as Leidner tried to stay in the pocket, step up to evade the rush, and now the Cornhuskers take over. From the eye, give is to Terrell Newby, and he finds room outside. Come on, guys, into Minnesota territory. That moves the chains for Nebraska. Our defense has just been overwhelmed today. They're not meant to stop this kind of defense. Now the option goes out, it's a pitch to Newby, and he once again has a Nebraska first down. And our secondary has mainly been the focal point of building this defense. They haven't been tested much today. It's been all the ground game for Nebraska. They haven't even thrown it 10 times yet. 14-point game as we enter the 4th quarter. Last hopes for Minnesota. Inside give is his Smart, who speeds by Antonio Johnson. And all Johnson can do is stare at the back of his jersey as he runs into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska. That makes it a 3-score game as they're starting to pull away. Look at the defensive stats. Minnesota has not had a sack, interception, forced fumble, no turnovers, and have forced 1 punt. Leidner on first down faces the blitz. He gets sacked by a free rusher. Unless we get some big plays soon, and here on 3rd down and 16 especially, Minnesota's hopes aren't looking good. Leidner takes a shot deep for Wolodarski. It gets knocked down. Incomplete pass. The deep pass game has been almost completely neutralized. other than Jamel Harbison. Minnesota out to punt, and Morris boots it away. Inside his own 40-yard line, fair catch is called, and did you really just run into him? Paul Patrick runs into the returner who called for fair catch. It is starting to fall apart, sadly, for Minnesota. 3-score game, Armstrong still in the game as he will keep this outside. Look at the blocks get picked up. Armstrong breaks a tackle to the 10-yard line. He gains 37 yards. Watch that play over again. Number 11 made 2 key blocks on that play. 1st and 10 for Nebraska. Armstrong, he trips and gets sacked. Minnesota's first sack of the game is because Armstrong fell. Oh my goodness, 3rd and 15. Handoff goes to Adam Taylor, and he gets leveled by Ray Dixon. Minnesota will force a field goal attempt, 38-14, a 24-point game, 5 minutes left. Mitch Leidner, David Clark left by himself. He works the middle for a first down catch of 12. We're going to keep fighting. We haven't scored though since the end of the 2nd quarter. Leidner back to the air. Good coverage, and Leidner goes down again. This time it's for a loss of 7. 4.5 minutes remain in the game. Leidner from the shotgun. Here's the blitz. He takes a shot deep for Duckett, and he dropped it. In double coverage, Leidner made a really nice pass, but Duckett couldn't keep possession. 3rd down and long, Minnesota spreads it out with 5 receivers. Mitch Leidner gets hit, but puts it up long. It's intercepted by Singleton, and there was Eric Carter coming across the middle who was open. But basically, we were forcing that one to Harbison because of what he'd already done on 3rd down. Nebraska ball with less than 3 minutes to play as they will try to run the rest of this clock out. It's been a really tough day. We kept it close for a while, but eventually Nebraska's offense pulled away. They fake to the fullback and pitch out to Taylor, who has room across the 20. He gains another double-digit carry for Nebraska. That one was good for 27. Minute 44 with Moore in motion. Here is Smart. He works outside, and Smart to the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska. And that is your dagger. Nebraska puts the finishing touches on Minnesota, and that's going to do it. Nebraska wins 45-14. The second half got really out of hand, and for some reason here, the whole end of game sequence was skipped, so I'm showing what I can here. But Minnesota falls against the number 2 team in the nation. But this was a really bad matchup for us because we're not built to stop an option offense. We don't have the speed necessary to contain them. We were at times able to get to Armstrong on the option plays, but there was plenty of room for the pitch man to run. And they end up with 3 100-yard rushers. That is embarrassing. Very tough day for our defense as the winning streak is snapped. We'll now transition to our bye week, looking for some good news after the loss, maybe from the recruiting side of things. 2 more! We've got 3 total now in our recruiting class. There's some good news, guys. Let's celebrate. We have Daniel Jones, a 2-star guard, who you can see is a little bit better than a 2-star. A very nice addition to help us build our offensive line, as well as a 3-star defensive end, Marcus Robinson, who I think with some development time could definitely turn into a very good defensive end for us. It's not a pressing need right now, but eventually it's going to be. Now, let's go to week 12. 3 more recruits have committed to the University of Minnesota, 6 total in the recruiting class. Aaron Harrison, an outside linebacker, 3-star prospect at 5'11", has some decent speed, has to develop in other areas, but another building block. Cornerback Joe Preston, a 6'2" corner with decent speed. He's a better zone coverage guy than man, but he's still another guy who would probably develop for a while before he got major playing time. Last guy today, Caleb Cruz, a junior college transfer tackle, better run blocker than pass blocker, so probably a right tackle, but I think this recruiting class is starting to fill out a little bit. We're getting some guys to commit, and there's still a lot of very good players on our board that have us as their number 1 interest. But that's enough for today with recruiting, as next week we take on Notre Dame. Our last non-conference game on the year. This one's in MetLife Stadium. I like to make these neutral site games for some reason. But we're taking on Notre Dame. They're 3-6. Good roster, bad record. We'll see if we can bounce back and become bowl eligible next week from East Rutherford, New Jersey. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was a very tough loss, but thank you for sticking with me. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys when we take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and try to become bowl eligible in our next game. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you then.